Good evening. Thank you for the invitation. It is such an honor to be able to contribute to this important event, a milestone of the creative economy development in Peru. I've had the pleasure of visiting Peru a couple of months ago, and although the visit was quite short, I've seen that this region has an abundance of creative industries, potentials, and narratives. Please allow me to introduce myself. I am Tita, an industrial designer, lecturer, and researcher at the Institut of Teknologi Bandung, Indonesia. I am the focal point for Bandung City of Design UNESCO Creative Cities Network. I am also active in community movements and in assisting our local and national governments within the context of creative economy. Creative economy, in the sense of having a source of income from human creativity and intelligence, has actually been occurring for centuries. But in the last decades, the fact that culture, creativity, and technology can create added values, such as innovation and intellectual property, is acknowledged and included in the governmental structure. Here are a few highlights of Indonesia creative economy. In Indonesia, prior to the visible timeline here, in 2006, our Ministry of Trade held a national event called Indonesia Design Power to reflect on the power of design and creativity as drivers of wealth improvement. So in the next governmental term, it is developed into the establishment of a Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy in 2010. Roadmaps and strategies were composed during this term. In 2015, the Indonesian president stated that creative economy is the backbone of Indonesia economy, and the sector was formed as its own institution, Creative Economy Agency. During this term, Indonesia produced a creative economy roadmap and initiated the World Conference on Creative Economy, or WCCE, in 2018. The event had a purpose to navigate policies, implementations, and impacts of creative economy from the local to the global level. At the end of this term, in 2019, Indonesia passed a bill on creative economy with an emphasis on added value through the potential of intellectual property based on culture, science, and technology. In the next governmental term, the sector is combined again as a Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy. Within this term, the second edition of WCCE was held in Dubai in 2021, and the third one in Bali as an official sub-event of the G20 in 2022. In 2023, the UN General Assembly adopted the resolution on promotion of creative economy for sustainable development, which was initiated by Indonesia and supported by 60 countries. It showed a global interest on the sector and was followed by the commitment of all members to report on their respective creative economy performance biannually, coordinated by ANTED as the designated leading organization starting 2026. In the current governmental team, creative economy becomes its own ministry, while the sector itself is already included in the National Strategic Development Plan until 2029. Along the timeline, with the purpose of identifying and mapping the priorities related to the creative economy, especially since the conditions are different from one economist to another, a number of white papers and policy recommendations have been composed and disseminated in relevant global forums, such as G20, ADPII, WCCE, and many more. These ones, with contributions from Indonesia, they have different titles, but all brought up the issues and interests of creative economy sectors, particularly in the global south. SDG, informal economy, intermediary or aggregator, inclusivity, digital transformation, measurements or index, culture-based innovation, and future discoveries. It is crucial to identify these issues in order to determine a development strategy in a roadmap, which brought us to the discussion of Bali Creative Economy Roadmap, a result of WCCE 2022. The purpose of this roadmap is to provide ideas and possibilities of particular interests and priorities of different nations regarding the creative economy. This one includes some topics that might be priorities to Indonesia, as seen in the yellow boxes, depending on the agenda and decisions of its leaders. The photos represent the strongest trends of Indonesia creative economy, which could guide the direction of priorities. Among others are new and upcycled materials, responsible food and fashion industries, the use of digital technology for MSMEs, and culture-based innovation. Currently, the creative economy sectors contribute to 3.1% of the global GDP. Many predict that these numbers will continue to grow, reaching 10% of global GDP and 40% of growth in creative sectors by 2030, due to the rapid development of technology. In the case of Indonesia, the creative economy contributed more than 90 billion of US dollar of added value, more than 23 billion US dollar in exports, and employed more than 24 million people. The international community has also taken part in recognizing such significance. Creative economy has now become one of the main agenda in numerous international bodies. The Indonesia creative economy development is still ongoing. However, it is an honor to share some of our insights to gain additional perspectives, recommendations, and solutions to the challenges faced so that we could create a collective approach as a strategy to develop the creative economy. We deliver 3 main points. We will begin by how Indonesia identifies the potentials of the creative economy, how we construct the development strategies, and then some implementation examples and case studies. First, how Indonesia identifies the potential of the creative economy. Referencing to the strategic plan of the Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy of Indonesia, year 2020 to 2024, there are at least 4 potential for the development of the creative economy. First, Indonesia has a high cultural diversity, which includes culinary, traditional clothing, crafts, music, and performing arts that comprises more than 1,000 local cultures from more than 17,000 islands across Indonesia archipelago. Second is natural resources. They provide enormous opportunities for Indonesia as a supplier of energy and raw materials for innovative and creative products in the craft and culinary subsectors. Third is the demographic bonus that will provide opportunities for the creative economy sector. The population in this productive age can be directed to become quality creative people to encourage the development of the creative economy. And number 4 is the vast number of Indonesian middle class as consumers of creative economy products, becoming the basis of the market. The consumption patterns of the middle class who want quality products at reasonable prices can increase demand for quality creative products. Second, the creative economy development strategies formulated by Indonesia. The law number 24 of 2019 concerning the creative economy of Indonesia states that the development of the creative economy is carried out through at least 5 main stages as follows. First is research, education, and training development. The ministry regularly publishes the Creative Economy Outlook, incorporating data from other formal publications to stay relevant on the current creative trends. This further reference through the regular capacity building program targeted to the Tourism Polytechnic and Creatives Association under the ministry. Second is funding and financing. Sustainable funding is crucial to enable access for the creatives to the market. Some initiatives, including investment, collaboration, grant fund, or directing financing from the ministry or international bank, are usually the common options undertaken. Third is infrastructure provision. The ministry delivers infrastructure provisions through direct fund support to the associations or communities, physical infrastructure support in the form of buildings, instruments, or tools, and Creative Cities Development Program, collaboration with the UNESCO Creative City Network, or UCCN. Number 4 is marketing system development. An active participation in international exhibitions or functions is usually a strategic way to promote awareness of national creative brands by facilitating their attendance at international forums. This is further supported by digital promotions, especially when a renowned collective brand is established. And 5 is the intellectual property protection. IP-based creative economy is the focus of Indonesia to assure proper credits of creations to the creators, developing a strong and seamless IP protection and monetization system is crucial through necessary regulation. Lastly, how does the ministry implement these visions? We have some prominent examples by Indonesia to share. First is the World Conference on Creative Economy, or WCCE. WCCE is an Indonesian initiative that brings together creative economy stakeholders to discuss its development and future, including the relevance and implementation of policies at the national and global levels. It is held every 2 years, and it returns to Indonesia every 4 years. A substantial meeting conducted annually under the Friends of Creative Economy meetings. Since 2018, WCCE has gained global recognition, involving over 80 countries, with 8 nations so far interested in hosting. The main theme, Inclusively Creative, emphasizes equal opportunities for all individuals, regardless of age, gender, background, or location, uniting communities through economic and cultural development. The last WCCE is in its 4th edition, conducted in Tashkent, Uzbekistan on October 2 to 4, 2024, organized by the Art and Culture Development Foundation under the Cabinet of Ministers of the Republic of Uzbekistan, resulting in a continuation of the Creative Economy Roadmap, the Tashkent Action Plan. Second is the workshop on promoting social inclusion in the creative economy sector, in collaboration with the UN Department for Economic and Social Affairs. Last year, Indonesia initiated the UN Resolution 78133 on promoting creative economy for sustainable development, co-sponsored by 60 countries and adopted by consensus. The resolution urges UN members to support creative economy growth, facilitate discussion, provide capacity building, and conduct research regularly. As a follow-up and implementation in the middle of this year, Indonesia's Ministry of Tourism and Creative Economy, in collaboration with the UN Department of Economic and Social Affairs, held workshops on promoting social inclusion in the creative economy. The workshop consists of training for policymakers and 2 FGDs to gain insights directly from vulnerable creatives. The project resulted in policy recommendations to increase participation of vulnerable groups in the sector. Third is the bilateral cooperation on creative economy. To intensify the acceleration of the sector's development, the ministry engaged in bilateral partnerships with other governments to collaborate in best practices, knowledge transfers, and programs. The collaboration is executed through certain types of documents. It can be a Memorandum of Understanding, or MOU, Plan of Action, or POA, or Technical Arrangement, or TA. MOU is general in its nature, so it allows cross-field or scope collaboration in the future and serves as a foundation agreement. POA, or TA, is detailed in its scope and serves as a guidance and standard of conduct for its foundation document. POA and TA still allow for cross-collaboration in technical units. Indonesia generated 12 collaborations in total, with 9 collaborations still in force from 2020 to 2024. There are collaborations specifically on creative economic cooperation with UAE, the Netherlands, the Philippines, Uzbekistan, Amazon Prime, Denmark, Thailand, Australia, and China. Any strategies and provisions that are conducted as a result of discussions, especially that are arranged for this event today, should be seen as a cycle that requires check and monitoring to assure its effectiveness and relevance. Creative economy development will always be a constant and dynamic process, and so are we. Thank you, and looking forward to further discussion and concrete, impactful collaboration.